Hello everyone. So it's day 2 of decimals. Today we'll discuss addition, subtraction and multiplication of decimals. So let's start. First we will do addition of decimals. Addition of decimals. So for adding decimals, you have to keep in mind that a decimal point should be in one line, okay, that should be in one column, okay, and you should keep in mind the place values of decimals and whole numbers, okay. That means whole numbers place value start from last, okay, decimal point is here, ones, tens, and place value of decimals start from tens, hundred, it start from starting, okay. So you should keep in mind this. Let's do a question. 45.097, then 20.56, then 0.56, and then 12.45. So write these in columns, okay. As I told you, you should write a decimal point in one column, okay. Yes, it should be in one column, okay. So place value of decimal start from starting, so we will write 5 here, okay, and we will write 0 in place of blank, okay. So 0, 0.56, again 0 zeros, then 12.45, okay, then add. So 7, so 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 plus 5 is 20, and 20 plus 6 is 26. So 5 plus 5 is 10, 14, 15, 16. 5 plus 1 is 6 and 6 plus 2 is 7. Then 4 plus 2 is 6 and 6 plus 1 is 7. So this will be the answer. In this way you can add decimals. I hope you get this. Okay, let's consider the next question. So the next question is 100.5, then 21.678, and then 229.022, and then 34.0. So how we'll write it? 100.5, then 21.678. See, like in whole numbers, I write, I will keep this place blank, okay, and write 21 here because it starts from ones, tens, hundred, ones, tens, hundred. So in this 0 is at ones place, and in this 1 is at ones place, and in decimal here is 5 and here is 6. So because 5 is at 10th place and here 6 is at 10th place, okay. So I can't write 5 here because 5 is at 10th place and this is 100th place now, okay. Yeah, you should keep in mind this. Otherwise addition is simple as standard addition. So now fill all the blank places with 0. Now add. So 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 9 is 11 and 11 plus 4 is 15. So 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5 and 5 plus 3 is 8. Now 2 plus 1 is 3. So 385.200. So in this way you can do addition of decimals. Hope you get it. Let's start subtraction of decimals. So let's do subtraction of decimals. So for subtraction, you should also write decimal point in one column, okay, and you should keep in mind the place values, okay, and like general subtraction, you can subtract decimals also. So let's consider a question. 34.890 from 1 to 3.906. So we have to subtract this from this. So from, that means we will subtract 34.890 from, we will write in this way. Okay, now subtract. Okay, so subtraction is same as standard subtraction. Okay, you just keep in mind the how to write decimals and write all the numbers according to their place values. So 6 minus 0 is 6. Now I can't subtract 9 from 0. So I will borrow from here and it becomes 10. So 10 minus 9 is 1. 8 minus 8 is 0. Okay. Now I can't subtract 4 from 3. So it becomes 13 and it becomes 1. So 13 minus 4 is 9. Yes, 9. Now I can't subtract 3 from 1, so I will borrow from here. It becomes 11 and it becomes 0. Now 11 minus 3 is 8. So 89.016 is the answer. Let's do the next question. So the question is 0.034 and you have to subtract it from 102.1. So we have to subtract this from this. So we'll write 102.1 in this way and next is 0.034. Now it don't have any value at 110,000 place, so I will write zeros here. Okay, now subtract it. So yes, I can't subtract 4 from 0, so I will borrow from here. Okay, it becomes 9. Why? Because it has nothing to give. Okay, it has 0. It is 0, so it has nothing to give. It will borrow from here. Okay, so it becomes 9 and it becomes 0. Now 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, now we'll subtract. Now come to this whole part. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 0 minus 0 is 0 and 1 minus 0 is 1. So 102.066 is the answer. Hope it is clear to you. Let's consider the next question. So question is, you have to subtract 45 from 56.9. So how we'll write this? 56.9 and you have to subtract 45 from it. So I don't have decimal part in 45, so I will write as 0. Now 9 minus 0 is 9, 6 minus 5 is 1, 5 minus 4 is 1. So 11.9 is the answer. Subtraction is simple. So let's consider the last question of subtraction, which is 188.25 and you have to subtract it from 534.903. So 534.903 and you have to subtract 188.25 from here. Okay, so I write 0 in the blank space. So now 3 minus 0 is 3. Now I can't subtract 5 from 0, so I will borrow from here. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 2 is 6. Now I can't subtract 4 from 8, so I will borrow from here. Okay, 14 minus 8 is 6. I can't subtract 8 from 2, so I will borrow from here. So now 12 minus 8 is 4 and 4 minus 1 is 3. So 346.653 is the answer. Hope it is clear to you. Let's move to the next, that is multiplication. So first we'll do multiplication with a decimal part by a whole number. Let's see how we will do this. So next is multiplication of decimals. First we'll do decimal number by a whole number. So let's consider an example. Suppose we have to multiply 2.2 by 2. Okay. So how we'll do this? We will do a standard multiplication, right? 22 by 2. Okay, right? Multiply 22 by 2. Forget this decimal point. Okay, while multiplying. So 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Now what we'll do? See, there is only one digit after a decimal point. There is only one digit. Okay. So one digit is here. So now what you have to do, you have to put, starting from the last, you have to put a decimal point before one decimal place. So starting from the last one digit, then put a decimal point here. Now 4.4 is the answer. This is the easiest way of doing decimals multiplication. Let's consider the next question. Let's consider some questions. So the first question is 2.4 and you have to multiply it by 8. So yes, forget the decimal point for some time while multiplying. Now multiply it. 8 times 4 is 32. Okay, just simple multiplication. 8 times 2 is 16 and 16 plus 3 is 90. 192. Now count the decimal places in the question. There is only one decimal place. So put a decimal point before one digit. So 19.2 is the answer. Hope it is clear to you. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question is 8.01 and you have to multiply it by 11. So see how we'll do this. Forget the multiply sign. Forget the decimal point, sorry. Then multiply 11. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 8 is 8. Again multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 8 is 8. Now add these. Now count the decimal places in the question. There are only 2 decimal places. There are 2 decimal places in the question. So put a decimal point before 2 digit and always remember that you have to start from the last. So 1, 2. So put a decimal point here. So 88.11 is the answer. Hope you get it. Let's do the next question. So it is 54.32 and you have to multiply it by 36. See, 5432 and you have to multiply it by 36. Now see, 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18 and 18 plus 1 is 19. Now 6 times 4 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30 and plus 2 is 32. Now see, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. Now add this. So 9 plus 6 is 15. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 6 plus 3 is 9. So 19,552. Now we will count the decimal places in the question. So there are only 2 decimal places. So we will put a decimal point before 2 digit. Okay. So 1955.52 will be the answer. Let's do multiply with 3 digit. So the question is 6519.3 multiply it by 137. 6519.3 and you have to multiply it by 137. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 9 is 63. 63 plus 2 is 65. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 6 is 13. So 7 times 5 is 35 plus 1 is 36. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 3 is 45. Now 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Now 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 5 is 5 and 1 times 6 is 6. Now add all this. Nine plus 1 is 10, 10 plus 6 is 16 and 16 plus 5 is 21. 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 9 plus 1 is 10 plus 5 is 15 and plus 4 is 19. 6 plus 1 is 7 plus 1 is 8. So now count the decimal places in the question. There is only one decimal place, so put a decimal point before one digit and you will get the answer. Hope it is clear to you. Let's move to the next topic, which is multiplication of a decimal number by a decimal number. So, the second topic in multiplication is multiplication of a decimal number by a decimal number. So, in this topic, you also have to keep in mind that while multiplying, ignore the decimal point, okay? Ignore both decimal point, okay? Then multiply it by standard multiplication, okay? And then count the decimal places in the question and then put a decimal point according to the decimal places you have in the question. Let's consider an example. Suppose it is 2.2 and you have to multiply it by 1.2. So, write in columns, okay? Then ignore the decimal point, okay? Now, see, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 2 is 2. So 484 is the answer. Now see, count the decimal places. It has one decimal place, it has one decimal place. So total 2 decimal places are here. Total 2 decimal places are here. So put a decimal point before 2 digit, starting from the last 1, 2. So put a decimal point here. So 4.84 is the answer. In this way, you can even multiply decimal by a decimal. Let's consider some questions. So, first question is 23.789 and you have to multiply it by 30.2. See, 23789 and multiply it by 302. Yes, multiply. So, 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, 0 times 9 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0. Now, 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 2 is 26. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 plus 2 is 23. Now 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Now add all these. So 5 plus 7 is 12. 7 plus 6 plus 1 is 14. 4 plus 3, 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, now this is the answer. So now count the decimal places you have in the question. So in the question you have 1, 2, 3 and 4 decimal places. So put a decimal point before 4 places. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So put a decimal point here. So 718.4278 is the answer. Hope it is clear to you. Let's consider the next question, which is 34.0 and you have to multiply it by 12.1. See, this is an important question. See, now we will multiply it by 1 to 1 and multiply it by 34. So multiply, yes. 4 times 1 is 1, 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3. Now add. Okay, now see, count the decimal places. See, when you count the decimal places in the question, you will get 2 decimal places. But I will consider only 1 decimal place because while multiplying, I have ignored this digit. 34.0, I have ignored this digit. So I will consider only 1 decimal place. So I will put a decimal point here. So 1.4 is the answer. If you want to count this decimal place, then you have to multiply it like 340 times 1 to 1. Okay, then you have to write it as like this. 340 times 1 to 1. Now multiply it. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 3 is 3. Now 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. Now 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 4 is 4 and 1 times 3 is 3. Now add this. Okay, now count the decimal places you have in the question. So there are 2 decimal places because you have considered this 0 also while multiplying. So we will put decimal point here. So answer will be same in both the cases. 411.4. Okay, answer will be same in both the cases. See, 411.4 or 411.40 both are same because 0 at the end after the decimal has no value. Okay, so they both are same. Hope it is clear to you. Let's consider the last question. So the last question is 567 and you have to multiply it by 32.999. So yes, 32,999 and multiply it by 567. So yes, 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 9 is 63. 63 plus 6 is 69. 7 times 9 is 63. 63 plus 6 is again 69. 7 times 2 is 14, 14 plus 6 is 20, 7 times 3 is 21, 21 plus 2 is 23. Okay, yes. Now 6 times 9 is 54, okay. 6 times 9 is 54, 54 plus 5 is 59. So 6 times 9 is 54, 54 plus 5 is 59. So 6 times 2 is 12 and 12 plus 5 is 17. So 6 times 3 is 18 and 18 plus 1 is 19. Okay? Yes. Now 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 9 is 45 and 45 plus 4 is 49. Again 5 times 9 is 45. 45 plus 4 is 49. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. Now 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1 is 16. Now add all this. 13. 9 plus 1 is 10, 19 and 24. 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. 7 plus 3 is 10, 19, 20, 21. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. 6, 1, 6, 7, 8. Now count the decimal places we had in the question. We had 3 decimal places. So put decimal place before 3 digit and you will get the answer. So answer is 18710.433. Hope it is clear to you. Let's move to the last topic, which is multiply any number, multiply decimal number by multiples of 10. So yes, multiply decimal number by multiples of 10. See, when you have to multiply by a decimal number, you can do it orally. Okay, what you need to do, you need to just shift the decimal point. Okay, so see, let's consider the question. See, what you have to multiply a decimal number by multiples of 10. So 1.08 by 10. Okay, so there is only, you have to multiply it by 10. Okay, so what you will do, you will put a decimal point to one digit to the right. Okay, while multiplying we will shift the decimal from to one digit to the right. Okay, so that means answer will be 10.8. Decimal will shift to one digit to the right. Okay, so you can do it verbally, no need to do long multiplication. Let's consider the next question. So 2056 and you have to multiply it by 100. So you have to multiply it with 2 zeros. So you will shift decimal to 2 decimal places. So decimal will come here. Okay. So decimal at the end will has no value. So 2056 will be the answer. Hope it is clear to you. Okay, let's do next question. 345.09 and you have to multiply it by 10. So you have to multiply it by 10. So shift decimal to one digit to the right. Okay, so 3450.9 is the answer. Okay, let's do next question. 455.00 and you have to multiply it by 100. Okay, so as you have to multiply it with 20, okay, so shift decimal places 2 digit to the right. Okay, decimal will come here. Okay, so decimal at the end will have no value. So answer will be 45,500. Okay, let's consider more question. So 8.9 multiply it by 1000. Okay, now you have to multiply it by 1000. So what you will do? See, you have to shift decimal 3 digit to the right. Okay, so 1 digit is here. Now I have no more digits. So I will add digits. 1, 2, 3. 3 digit to the right. Okay, so decimal at the end will have no value. That means 8900 is the answer. 8900 is the answer. When you don't have enough digit, okay, add zeros at the end. Let's consider the last question. 6.08 and you have to multiply it by 1000. Okay, so 2 digits are here and we will add one more digit. Okay, yes, so 6080 is the answer. Hope these things are clear to you. So with this, day 2 decimals is over now. Okay, now we'll meet in the decimal day 3.